is this feeling for you? I don't want to phrase it as we're at the end of the line here, but really waiting for the final film this summer to come out. How are you guys both feeling about this?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the last film. I think we all are kind of itching to now see it when we all, come back together again and have interviews. It really does, again, kind of bring that excitement up again and that sort of feeling. But it feels like it's going to come quick. I'm sure June or July, whenever it's coming out, it's going to come quickly. But it's weird because although there's all the questions asked, what is it like to finish and end? And I don't think until we've seen the last film and pass that over to the audience will it really feel as though it is the end. Like I think when we're, the London premiere, we're all sitting there and the credits roll up to that film, I think people are going to react much more emotionally than they expect. So,
is it feeling bittersweet for you? Has it registered yet?
You see, I came into the films late. The last film that came out was the first film that I was in, Deathly Hallows Part 1. So, I mean, it's not the emotional not wrench, but whatever it is for you guys, I'm not as attached to it because I just wasn't there for 10 years. It wasn't like being at school for me, It was like, joining for a term. So, I'm just excited as somebody who really enjoys the movies to see the last one. That's more where I'm coming from. I'm not kind of tied to it in any other way.
And Part 1, Deathly Hallows Part 1, coming out on DVD. Now, what was your favorite scene in that film?
My favourite scene in Deathly Hallows Part 1, the dancing scene. I really like the dancing scene. And then the kind of, I really like that scene. I thought that was really good. One of my favourite ones.
Gosh, I don't know. I quite liked, loads of things probably. I really love the Seven Harry scene for humour and just technical amazingness, brilliance. And I just liked a lot of the scenes when we really saw Harry, Ron and Hermione really being actually quite challenged in their relationship, that it wasn't, no friendship is perfect forever, and just seeing how they broke apart but yet came back together so much stronger from that. And I think that was interesting, and it really just reiterated how strong a friendship they are, and just in terms of friendship for other people watching the films and how important it is, and that feeling of trust is really important.
It seems family is very important, obviously, in this series. Was working on this set and working on Harry Potter, was there a very familial feel, and did you guys all get along like family?
Yeah, I think everyone always, we all hate each other. People always kind of never think when we say it was, an entire family, not only the cast, but the crew and everyone who was there. And some people kind of don't believe it, but weirdly enough, it is like that, spending that much time with people, and not only just watching other actors kind of grow or other actors being amazing, just seeing the craftsmanship and all the people that work, creating all the things you're going to see in this exhibition. It's just amazing, and seeing them kind of go up in their field was quite amazing. That not only did we grow older, but someone would come in as a camera trainee and they'd end up being the focus puller, or just seeing that was incredible.
What will you take with you from playing Ginny Weasley? What part of your character?
I quite like in terms of the way portraying women. In terms of her, she's quite fearless, and she's just goes for it, and she doesn't really have a second thought. And I think that's why finally she does end up with Harry, because she goes for it. She doesn't wait for him to kind of come to her. And I really admire that feeling of that warmth that she has, and that sort of quite kind of, I can't think of the word, but she has, she comes out at the end that you'll see, and a lot of people, they really fight, and that's something we haven't seen. So that real kind of scary sort of violence comes out of them to conquer evil. So that was fun.
What did you enjoy most about playing? We just have a few seconds left, but playing.
I've discovered that girls like scars, and I don't have any. That's what I discovered. It was crushing experience.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just but I'm also a coward, so it's difficult. Yeah.
All right, we're with Domhnall Gleeson and Bonnie Wright from the Harry Potter franchise. Thanks for taking the time today, guys.
Thank you.
You guys pretty familiar with the bonus features for Deathly Hallows Part 1?
Yeah, it's quite exciting. I think we're excited to see it as well. There's a sneak peek for the second Deathly Hallows, so hopefully people enjoy that, and we'll kind of get them excited again for the next film.
And there's plenty of behind-the-scenes type stuff as well. So, but we haven't seen it, so we're not that familiar.
No, yeah,
with
not
it.
that familiar. We won't watch it as much.
Yeah, exactly.
As the rest.
But we were behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we kind of got a little bit of we got a sneak bit. Doesn't matter. Yep.
Now the first few films in the franchise were fun, almost whimsical. but they've gotten progressively darker. Can we expect that same thing with the final film?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's, in terms of the final battle against good and evil in these movies, happens in the last one, and it's incredibly dark, and it has to have that really in terms of when Harry finally faces Voldemort in the forest and tries to defeat him. But I think in terms of seeing Hogwarts in this film is going to be very, very different, because obviously it's just the scene of a battle rather than being this kind of warm home of a school that everyone sort of loves. It's going to be very different, but I quite enjoyed that, in just seeing it in a completely different light and sort of almost demolishing it all was quite fun.
That's sad as well.
Yeah.
Speak to working with David Yates on this film. What kind of director is he?
He's fantastic. When you think just how large the film is, and I mean how much has gone into, you look around the exhibition thing and you realise how much detail has gone into every little aspect of everything, and how much time and money they're spending to try, and how big the whole thing is. The idea that he's still so good with actors, I thought was really impressive. He just kept the whole thing light and easy, and sort of was very generous all the time, despite the fact that he had a million questions coming at him every 2 seconds. He made time for everyone, which I thought was really impressive.
Now, all these films are on the cam. We're done filming, obviously. Still, we have one more to release. After it's released, are you guys going to feel, I don't know, like something's missing? I mean, you guys have been, especially you, have been part of this for so long.
Yeah, I think it is. I think really only until the credits go up at the premiere, when we have it all together in London, will it really feel like it's the end. And I think that's going to be I can imagine myself, I don't know, I think that's going to be really the moment when it does feel like the end in terms of the journey completing. But it's exciting. I find it always exciting when it starts in the cinemas and you begin to hear a response about it and excitement about it. I find always exciting. But no, it's going to be a definite hole in kind of what I'm used to. But I guess it's now paid in the next bit that you become used to, the next bit in your life.
Yeah.
Know about this exhibition here that they're doing in New York. It's the last stop for it. It's been going on for 2 years. Have you had a chance to look around, check it out?
Yeah, we've had a look around today after we've been wandering around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's easy to get lost. Yeah, poking around at all the various things. Some of the stuff, because it hasn't opened yet, some of the stuff is still to go up, I think. And it's really fascinating. It's really good fun, and it's very cool poking around and seeing what they have to offer.
Now, in Deathly Hallows Part 1, either of you guys have a favorite scene you'd like to single out? Something that really popped off the screen?
I kind of really liked, in terms of, I wasn't involved in the scenes, but obviously a vast majority of the movie was based outside of Hogwarts, and I just found that quite refreshing, and I love the, English countryside, the Scottish countryside, and I think they really utilised as much as they could in that sense, and it just really honed in on the fact how, vulnerable and sort of at danger Harry, Ron and Hermione are, and I think the landscapes really helped to sort of embed that,
You? No?
Yeah, no, I've got plenty, yeah. I thought the big argument, which leads to Ron kind of parting ways for a while, was really great. And I like the dance with Harry and Hermione a lot, and I like the Seven Potters scenes. It's funny, there's a lot that's sad about it, and then there's some really, really funny moments in it as well. It's great.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much again. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
So, guys, it's been nearly 10 years since the first film. How are you feeling now the experience is kind of coming to an end?
Yeah, it's very, very bizarre. I think when we started, we never knew obviously it would go on for this long. The books hadn't all come out yet, although everyone knew that J. Rowling was going to write 7 in terms of following the 7 years of school. But it's very, very, very strange. It never kind of, again, felt like it was going to come, but, that final day did end up coming around, and it was so emotional, really, that kind of we could never recreate that moment again with all of us together in the different sets that we become so, it was like our second home. So it is very strange now to look back at the experience as a past thing rather than a present.
Yeah. Bonnie, I have to ask you, what was it Radcliffe?
Yeah, it's quite strange when I read it in the book that they would end up being together. I would never have imagined that, so it was quite a fun new element to play for Ginny. And it was nice because obviously, there's that either it's bad because you've known someone for so long, but it actually ended up being really good because, there's that sense of the comfortability you have and the fun that you can have with it. So I I think I was more daunted by the fact that how the audience would like feel about it and if they'd enjoy the chemistry that they had. So that was probably the more nerve-wracking bit. But the actual scene was good fun, yeah.
And what can fans expect from the final film?
Lots of explosions and battles and killings.
It's
and
a
things like
blockbuster.
that. Yeah, it's a very kind of, it's the climax of all climaxes, really. It's, you know, something that's, you know, people have been waiting for a very long time. But I think, although it is going to be a very enjoyable film, I think a lot of people will be sad at the fact that it's the last one. But I guess all we can say is go back from the beginning and watch them all again.
Get them on DVD.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Now available on Blu-ray.
Yeah. Everyone's been telling me that they haven't been able to take any souvenirs from the set.
No.
Surely there must be something that you've
Unless you
taken
slip
as
it in your pocket and
Yeah.
run.
memento.
I tried to wear my wedding ring out by accident.
Yeah.
That didn't work
Really?
at all. No. I got a knock on the door. Yeah.
Not even
Yeah.
a wand, anything?
They were particularly careful
I
with
could take
wands.
the wedding ring. My parents made the Potter wedding rings, so I could take them.
Really?
Yeah, they're Julius. They made Tonks and Lupin's one, and they made Harry and
Did they make mine?
Ron's one. They didn't. So you could have got
I
the
knew it was
real
rubbish
one.
anyway.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But yeah, so I could officially get it if my parents probably wouldn't part with it. But I don't know. Yeah,
interesting.
it's kind of.
It is.
I don't know, different things that, like our wand, everyone loves their wand in terms of
Yeah.
everyone is different. So you have a real, and you get to choose, they give you like an option of 5 and, you know, pick them up, feel which one you like. And the one that you chose obviously is, you like it because you know, like the feel of it. So that'd be fun. I have got a Ginny Weasley wand, but it's one that anyone could buy, like a merchandise one. So.
Still pretty cool though. I want
Yeah.
one. I think you can get them here. So
Yeah.
apparently someone
I
said I
think
can
you
get
should
one
get a
later on.
Ginny Weasley one as well.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would. No, actually, I want a Bill Weasley one. I'm sticking to my guns on this one.
Brilliant. Thank you both very much. Best of luck with the last film.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's start at the end. What was your last scene each that you actually shot?
My last scene that I shot was the last scene that's going to be in the film, which was quite strange, really, actually, you know, wrapping on that last... We came back and did more work on it. That's why it was the last scene. But no, it was really quite bizarre. It was kind of almost surreal having that moment, because we came back, we kind of had a finish, and then we sort of came back to shoot some more from it. And it was just... It took me back to the same set that I started on, platform 9 3/4, and although I was Ginny, I was kind of a different Ginny because I was kind of 35, so it all felt really surreal. It was almost like I was working on a different movie altogether, so that kind of ended it very strangely. But, you know, it was just... It's interesting when something is being really, you know, really important for you, it finishes quite quietly because you're kind of... You don't quite believe it yet, and it's more now when I look back on it and talk about it that I'm really kind of sad to see it go.
I think the last one I did was like outside the courtyard when Hogwarts was kind of touring down and Ray finds Voldemort giving this big horrible speech and we all had to run away. That was my last one. So it was weird because it's a huge crowd scene and there were loads of people finishing that day. So there was an odd mood around the place. But it was also really exciting because it was a cool scene. It was I found it kind of joyous, you know?
Yeah. That was meant to be
You've
my
gotta move
last
on.
scene, then I came back. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you came back to 35-year-olds, so really, that's
Yeah,
a
it's
different film.
different.
You had a very interesting introduction to the film. You sort of walk in and sort of, hi, I'm here, by the way.
Hey, this, and then the guy, and then I'm gone. Yeah.
How did that sort of feel? Did it feel the sort of sense of, I'm meant to have been introduced already?
No, not really. No, it was funny because I'd read the books, you know, and I knew, and I was waiting to see whether they would start casting for that part because I thought I'd be in with the shot. But it wouldn't have fit in the earlier films, so the films make sense, much more sense without it. So you say, well, fair enough. And then I was so thrilled just to get the opportunity to do it that there was no sense of like, oh, I only get 4 lines, or you know, it was just a privilege to be there. So it was exciting and nerve-wracking and all that sort of stuff, but there's nothing bad about it.
And we can expect to see a little bit more of you in the second part?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they cut stuff out all the time. I'll wait and see. If I'm there, I'm there, and if I'm not, I'm not. Yeah. I mean, I might cry, but and there might be other people around, but it'll be okay. It'll be all right.
And yourself, Bonnie, you're obviously turning up quite a bit more in the second film.
Yeah, there's a lot more. I think what's really amazing about the last film is we all really come together. Like lots of characters that we kind of lost in, you know, film 3 and different things come back in the scene. So it was really special having that really, I don't know, everyone from the good side is coming out to battle at Hogwarts, and there was a real sense of energy with everyone. And I think it was just really enjoyable that we had everyone together and finished on such a large scale, because the film is going to be kind of a very epic battle. and it was just fun, really kind of ending on a very, very high note and a very kind of big scale, so it was fun, yeah.
You've been compared recently to Kate Blanchett, which is obviously, I would like to think quite flattering coming from Australia.
I used to be called Kate Blanchett when I was 19. People used to tell me that I look like Kate Blanchett.
Oh, well,
yeah. But I think it's the acting ability here.
I can barely tell you
I can see that too, actually. Yeah,
I was like Julianne Moore as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's probably just red hair, quick.
Is the intent, are you going to go on with the acting? I mean, obviously, if you want, you've got a career at fan conventions for the rest of your life.
Yeah. After the same questions over and over again. Yeah, I am. I'm studying at the moment, not really acting, it's actually more sort of directing and writing and different things in my second year. And yeah, continuing to acting. I'm starting a new project that I can't really massively talk about, but that starts sort of summer this year. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm quite nervous really about kind of moving on when you've been, it's such a comfortable environment in Harry Potter and it's so unique. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be exciting to really put myself into a much kind of deep water situation and really kind of be a bit vulnerable, but yeah.
And Dom, you've also been busy lately. You've had sort of some great successful films. What's next for you?
I got a couple. I did a kind of an Irish movie called Sensation that I'm really excited about. It's fantastic, and that's been doing festivals. But I'll get a release at some stage in the autumn, I think. And then I did this Dread, written by Alex Garland, amazing big comic book movie. That'll be out next year, and that was shot in 3D, which is really great. And that's going to be epic as well. And then I've got work lined up for the summer, but I'm just so worried it'll all fall through that I'm not, I think I'll be working, but you never know.
Well, hopefully we will see you in the last film, and we'll definitely see you in the last
yes,
film.
Exactly.
And thank you both so much for sitting down.
Thank you.
How do you think that Harry Potter films have changed a generation? How they still will spreading their magic in new generations to come?
I think with Harry Potter, although it is a magical story, it still touches so many, not only for adults but for children, which crosses all the generations. It tells just very simple stories that many people face, and kind of that idea of the trust between friends and the sort of bravery that Harry has to take on and the responsibility. But in general, there's so many, in each film they seem to touch every different thing one comes across in life. So I think that's helped, and I think also the high production design and the amazing sort of mix of actors and different things has really connected a lot of even other countries in terms of through cultures. Other people can still really kind of find something that speaks to them, and I think that really is amazing that it's crossed so many people. And it's amazing when you meet people that you just wouldn't expect to be a Harry Potter fan and they just love it. So it just shows how kind of mixed audience we have.
What is the most positive things that you take with you now that the saga is over, and what personal sacrifices did you make while you were working on it?
Well, I came into it late. I didn't. There was no personal sacrifice on my part. Apart, I went over and got to work with incredible actors and really, really nice people in films that I love already, and to play a character who I loved already. So there was no hardship on my part. I loved every minute of it. It's different for you guys. You grew up with it, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's never ever had a kind of negative effect on any of us, I don't think. And obviously we started so young and we were all still in education, but we managed to, I still went all the way through, and I'm at university now, so it hasn't stopped anything to do with my education. And I think also, rather than kind of limit us in terms of our lifestyle, it's actually enriched it so much because, I think with children, usually you don't really ever work or socialise with people who are older than you. And I think, like when you go to school, everyone's the same age in your classroom. Whereas I think for us, it's been amazing that kind of quick maturity level that was built in terms of working with much older people, and that just in awe of them, really. I think that's what's been the most amazing thing, just watching other actors who've, made 100 films or, to their name. It's been really incredible.
I think it's going to be easier now to get new roles. I mean, you've been in incredible movies in True Grit and Never Let Me Go and all, but it's going to be easier to get roles, or actually it's going to be more difficult?
I don't know. I
think if you're a good actor, you're a good actor.
Yeah, I don't think it. I think the world of Hollywood is incredibly competitive, and it doesn't really. I think, it's amazing to. Obviously, I wouldn't even have a chance to act if I hadn't been given this opportunity to be in Harry Potter. So it's always that idea of being, feeling always so lucky to have given that chance. But I think it's down to you and down to how hungry you are to work and how, kind of how much concentration, how much drive you have, really.
But you're also really comfortable in front of the camera now as well.
Yeah.
So many people your age would have so little experience who want to be actors.
I think what it is, though, because Harry Potter was such, like, you know, a family, and we were so used to the cameraman, the operator.
Yes.
I think it's quite daunting, the idea of, you know, going on to that next. You know, I did things whilst I was doing Harry Potter in between, but it's that idea of, you know, that different sense of atmosphere. You know, the comfortability is slightly different.
Brad Blanks, and I'm sitting here with
Bonnie Wright,
who plays Ginny.
Ginny Weasley, yeah.
And
Domhnall Gleeson, who plays Bill. I play Bill.
You're Bill.
I got a bit.
Weasley.
Weasley, brother and sister.
And
This has started badly.
Just wait, there's a bit of action over here.
What the hell?
What's going on? Oh, lower my voice. This is an absolute disaster.
You just got called out, man.
Let's start again. Brad Blanks, and I'm here with Domhnall
Gleeson.
and
Bonnie Wright.
Bonnie. Now, did you have to have red hair to get this role?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but they dyed my hair more ginger.
Really?
Which was weird, yeah.
You became more ginger.
I wasn't ginger
mine
enough,
was
so they
too.
dyed my hair ginger.
So as a red-headed young lady,
Yeah.
you have turned out pretty good, Ginny, like has done all right. Like,
Yeah,
you
she
and
did.
Harry have got
She
to
did
sort
good,
of,
apparently. Harry must like the red-headed ones, I think.
yeah, like secretly he might have liked Ron earlier. Shit, but
Yeah, and then he did have long hair in that one movie.
yeah, that was
So-
but then, how does Ron, do you think, feel about the fact that Harry's running around with you, the sister?
I think at the beginning it's quite difficult probably for him, because it would be quite strange, your best friend going out with your younger sister. But I think he then realises that he really trusts Harry, and he sees that Ginny is happy, so...
Do you feel that you've done a good job as the big brother of Ron?
I think I've done a corking job. A corking job as the big brother of Ron.
Yeah.
I've been there for him.
Yep.
Not all his life, just in the 7th movie.
Yeah.
But I was there for him
Right.
and I tried to help him out.
So are you
When the going got
yeah.
tough, I turned up and got married.
Does the real
You
life
helped him out.
yeah, like, does the real life Ron, after a day of shooting, like take you out and pick up the build because he's been involved in all
Because
7?
he's so much richer than I am.
Yeah.
He never did that once.
Oh,
but then
right.
he's not a nice guy,
No,
so
sorry. Well, yeah, but you've got better looking red hair.
I would disagree with you strongly.
You
on
like
that.
his hair better than
I
yours?
do, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That's a.
I mean,
Sorry.
I don't want to.
Yeah. As the woman that kisses Harry, good lips on the young fella.
Yeah, he's got okay lips. No, it's quite
Okay.
strange. Okay, yeah, they're all right.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Yeah. I don't know, it's quite strange really, because it was part of the job, I guess, but we had fun doing it. We
Yeah.
joked about,
Well, he's a good looking
eating
wizard.
garlic before
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay. How many takes did you do?
Quite a few the first
Did you?
film, yeah.
Right, okay.
So when you're like 87 years of age, you'll be able to go, I am the woman that did all this stuff with Harry Potter. That's a pretty amazing thing to say.
Yeah, no, it is. It's going to be like hopefully you can pass it on to many generations,
Yeah.
show my grandkids or something.
You're like the red-headed Princess Leia.
The red hair is always the issue here,
Well,
though.
people think I have red hair.
They're wrong.
But thank you. I didn't mean thank you.
Get this guy out of here.
No, I love that's very good.
Red hair is actually very in, and
It
it's
is
very
in at the
cool.
moment,
Very in.
and especially with kind of light blue. I don't
Yeah,
know if you
yeah.
can tell, but we've kind of gone
Yeah,
for
it is
that.
blue and red, and there's nothing there. No
Not
ginger?
even a little bit. I'm sorry.
That's right. Thank you so much. It was
That's okay.
wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
It's kind of, I guess it's the climax of all climaxes, one could say. It's a very epic finale, so hopefully we go out with a bang.
Yeah.
I also remember the first time that, obviously my character's a year below the other one, so I only entered Hogwarts in the second film. And I remember going up when we had the sorting hat scenes and things, and sitting for the first time at the Gryffindor table in the Great Hall was really exciting for me. They all kind of blend into one, and then other times they're really kind of specific, the moments. But no, it's been really, it's been an incredible journey for me in terms of, how the energy has kept going throughout it, and the friendships have always stayed so strong, and the excitement levels have always been, big for me. So it's quite weird now coming to the end, but I think it's exciting for all of us in terms of, I think we're very, everyone's very supportive in terms of where we'll all get next go, and yeah, it's fun.